Dear all, this is the online training of ICS2 Economic Operator Self-Conformance Test. This training will prepare the economic operators for the execution of the ICS2 Self-Conformance Test. This training will explain the use of the CertTrader portal for conformance testing for the following use cases: manage trader preferences, register conformance test campaign, and consult the conformance test campaign. In order for an economic operator to get connected to ICS2 production environment, the economic operator should first complete successfully conformance test campaign. An economic operator user can use STI/STP for filing the ENS and to execute its self-conformance testing. Express carriers, postal operator, air carriers and freight forwarders, also the operators carrying goods by sea, inland waterways, road and rail, will be able to start operating in ICS2. The approach to verify the conformance of the EO system is based on business scenarios that combine certain test cases. Those will be triggered from ICS to STI/STP conformance campaign screen, dedicated for the purpose of an EO user to configure and execute the conformance test campaigns. The EO can access STI/STP by accessing first the EU Customs Trader portal via the Internet or by using the website of the responsible national customs authority. Access to the EOCTP portal is validated and managed through the UEMDS. To access UEMDS web services, an economic operator or a customs representative must be registered in UEMDS. A UEMDS user must have at least one business profile to access an application protected by a UEMDS policy. The economic operators should contact their respective national service desks in order to have their UEMDS right assigned. The available UEMDS roles are the executive, configurator, executive lead, and consultative. Customs and Tax EU Learning Portal offer a course which can be found in Annex C in the Conformance Test Organization document for economic operators, which includes specific information on the use of UEMDS. It is strongly recommended all economic operators and their custom representatives to attend this online 30-minute course prior to any interaction with UEMDS. The sender of the messages should also take into consideration that in order to connect to ICS2 conformance environment, the following prerequisites need to be fulfilled in order for their system to send and receive ICS2 messages from and to the STI. These are the registration of a certificate in UEMDS and the association between this certificate and the EORI, and also the establishment of the access point. Registering a certificate can be done either centrally or locally, depending on the member state's implementation. For central registration, the economic operator needs to have the BP managed business profile, whereas in local registration, they should contact the national services of the responsive member state. In order to set up its self-conformance test campaign, the economic operator's configuration needs to be done first using the Manage Trader Preference section. We will now see a live demonstration on how a user can access STI/STP via UEMDS. This is the URL that you will need to use. Then you will need to choose the country and the type of actor. You will press Submit. You will redirect in the page where you will need to use your credentials. You will be authenticated in UEMDS, and now as you can see we have successfully accessed in the UCTP portal and to STI/STP. The Manage Preference page is the area where the user can manage communication preferences as well as configure their own AS4 access point in STI/STP. With the EO configurator or EO declarant or EO representative roles, the users can configure which optional notifications they want to receive or not. Those optional notifications are informative notifications and are delivered to the actor depending on communication preference in STI/STP. More specifically, the economic operator users have three options for their preferences. The first option is the EO declarant or representative acting also as a sender, where the economic operators who have developed their own system to exchange ISS2 messages have to choose this option. The second option is EO declarant representative not acting as a sender, where the EOs that are using IT service provider services have to choose this option, and the third option is just acting as a sender, where the IT service providers should use this option. Furthermore, with the EO configurator role, a user can configure one or more parties with a party ID and endpoint URL, and for each party, the ICS2 STI service version they support and the message exchange pattern they want to use. Additionally, the actor can use the configured parties to set the default communication path per business domain. The system, depending on the selection in the previous step, may present the ICS2 notifications either as a person filing or as a carrier. Just note that for the R01 ENS registration response notification, this is mandatory for the person filing and it is not editable. Additionally, the economic operators, based on their role, should enable the notifications in order to receive the message in their system. The notification for person filers will be enabled by default, while the notification for carriers should be enabled accordingly. Additionally, the system may present the switch on-off ICS2 notification via STP, including for ENS filings that were not submitted through STI-STP or notifications to economic operators other than the person filing with a default path different from STI-STP. Duplicate notification will be shown on the STI-STP dashboard. Additionally, the economic operator user can configure access points with the party ID and information related to communication. You should consult the interface control document for the correct party ID format. Also, the user can configure the communication path, including a default communication path for each business domain. If an economic operator acts as a carrier, it should enable those notifications and create a system-to-system default communication path with the party ID of the sender of the messages, party ID of their ITSP. Apart from the RCT campaign, the users can also create a user-to-system default communication path in order to receive messages directly from EUCTP. This pop-up window allows the user to configure an access point configuration with a party ID and information related to communication. In order to add a party, the user should fill in the following request information: the party ID, such as system at EORI at MS, where the identifiers system and MS are optional. They should fill in the supported STI service version. The user should use EUICS2 TI v20. The message exchange pattern, either push or pull. The endpoint URL, in case the message exchange pattern from above is push. The TLS client certificate, where the user will indicate the certificate authority of the TLS certificate, and also the contact details like the name, email address, and the phone number. At the end, by clicking Save and Notify button and the Save Trade Preference button, a confirmation notification will appear and an automated email will be sent to ITSM in order to start the configuration of the economic operator at Tapas layer. The default communication path pop-up is accessible from the Manage Preference page only for users with configuration rights. This pop-up allows the user to define a default communication path per business domain. The system will present the default communication paths, including the business domain. The current values are postal, air, maritime, express, road and rail, the communication path, system or user to system, and the party ID field, which is only available when the communication path is set at system to system. The Register a Self-Conformance Test Campaign section is where the user can self-register a conformance test campaign. The user is able to navigate to the next or to the previous step in order to fully fill in the required information to self-register. Only with the EO configurator role a user can register a conformance test campaign using STI-STP. Please note that this action is only applicable in the conformance environment. The user will navigate to the self-conformance campaign section. They should choose the party ID for which they are going to execute the self-conformance testing, and finally, they will register a new test campaign. We will now select as an example the express operator role when the same procedure is followed for the other roles also. Only for the carrier and the hash filer business roles, the user should also choose the one or more of the available ENS filings. Each ENS filing can be selected only once. After the selection of the business role, the user should select the available business scenarios according to the business role and the ENS filing selection. More information related to the business scenarios per business roles is provided to the test design specifications for economic operator conformance test scenarios document. The system renders a list with the business scenarios corresponding to the ENS filing requiring an LRN identifier. The LRN identifier depends on the ENS filing type. The LRN of each ENS filing submitted through the business scenario is expected to be provided by the user. Just note that not only one LRN should be used per business scenario. We will now see how a user can register a conformance test campaign. As you can see, we are in the self-conformance test campaign section. You will need to choose for which party ID you are going to execute this conformance test campaign, and then you will press register new test campaign. For our example, we will select the express operator, business role, and then you will need to choose the ENS filing that you are going to execute. You will press next, and here you will need to fill in the LRN identifier. We will use an example, and then you will press finish configuration. Now, as you can see here, our test campaign is registered and ready to be executed. The test campaign business scenarios is the area where the user can consult the business scenarios details of a registered self-conformance test campaign. As a self-conformance test campaign page, this page also is only available in the conformance environment. With the EO declarant, EO representative, EO configurator, EO person notifying the arrival, or EO notifying party role, a user can consult a conformance test campaign using STI STP. The system renders information about the campaign in which the actor is registered at the level of business role, scenario, and message. The user can see a list with the active conformance test campaigns for all the available business roles containing the below information: business role, ENS filing, registration date, status, and any actions that the user can perform. If the user selects to view an active conformance test campaign, the system will present a grid with all the business scenario included for the business role and the scenario of the select campaign. The user will be able to see the ENS filing, the business flow description, the business flow status, and the actions like view or launch test for some specific business flows that the user can take. The user selects to view a specific business scenario, then the system renders a grid with a list of messages of the business scenario, including information like the message sequence, the message type, the LRN identifier, additional information, the optionality of the business scenario, the execution date, the STI status, the failure reason, or any actions that the user can perform. With a reset button, the user resets the whole flow regardless of the STI status, removing all the LRN identifiers and execution dates in this specific business flow, and setting the status of all the messages to set up pending, or in case of not requiring identifier, in execution pending status. Now we will see how a user can consult the already registered and maybe executed test campaign. You will redirect it to the party ID and to the specific test campaign that you want to consult further. You will press view. You will choose the specific business scenario. And you can see here the message sequence, the message type that needs to be exchanged, the identifiers that have filled in, any additional information regarding this flow, the optionality of it, the execution date, the STI status, and also the user can update or fill the identifier. Of course, at the bottom, you can also press reset flow in order to reset this flow and start it from the beginning. Then the actor selects to view a failed or success message. The system will provide the read-only mode, the ENS filing form, which is associated with the current ENS filing. The data of this message is presented to the actor in read-only mode, and the actor with the AO configurator role is not able to view a failed or a success message. Additionally, the user can search and see more details of the related messages like the message type, LRN, MRN, or any other details. By clicking on the message type, the system provides to the user more information of the selected message. We can see some example of ENS filing, of an arrival notification, of a task, and of a notification. The actor with business role, person notifying the arrival, notify party, or house filer, when the ENS filing is F22 ENS pending notification or the F26 ENS pending notification, selects to launch test for a specific business flow with status ready for execution. Then the system will initiate the ENS registration to be mocked, and the system will change the status of this flow to in progress. Then the actor is also able to select to export the grid with a list of messages included in this business scenario. The system uses EUCTV functionality to export a list of messages in CSV format. Another example here when the actor selects to fill the LRN identifier of a message with status setup pending, the system will update the entry in the message grid with the value of the identifier and set the status to execution pending. The actor selects to update the LRN identifier of a message with status execution pending or failed. The system updates the entry in the message grid with a new value of the LRN identifier. If the status of the message was failed, the system updates it to execution pending. Then the actor clicks the Reset Business Scenario button. The system removes all the identifiers in the business scenario and set the status of all the messages to setup pending or execution pending. If the flow has the initial ENS registration to be mocked, then the system also launches the flow. Economic operator should visit those web pages and familiarize themselves on the terminology and the ICS2 components that we'll use to access and consult. Thank you for viewing the video on NEO self-conformance testing. We hope it provided clear information and explained the things required to perform a successful NEO conformance campaign. We wish you an enjoyable participation to the conformance test of ICS2.